Hello, I hope you guys are all doing great. This is the nail art design we're going to be working on today. It's a 3D acrylic flowers. Each of our nails has a completely different flower. One thing I did do out of camera's view is the 3 little pearls that I decided to add here in the corner at the end. But this is the flower I'm going to show you how to do. And one thing I want to say is during the video you're going to hear some maybe loud noises coming in from the outside because I'm using the acrylic and it's such a strong odor. I would recommend that you use the acrylic in a well ventilated area. So I have my window open and that's where the noises will be coming from. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to begin working on is the background. As a background color I chose sort of like an orange, tangerine orange color, but I don't want it to be flat. I want it to have some dimension. So if you can notice, the very tips have a little bit of white, but I've left the very bottom of the nail the original color. So what we're going to do is I'm going to get a makeup sponge and I'm going to be applying white polish very lightly. I don't want too much on the makeup sponge, and then I'm going to dab a little bit and then I'm going to start placing it on my nail. I'm not going to go all the way down low. I'm going to especially pay attention to the very corners of the nail. And that's all we've done there. The next thing to do is we're going to get a glitter polish. I try to get a glitter polish very similar to my original orange color. So I'm going to be applying this one over the entire nail. So there we have it. That's the background that we're going to be using. After this dries, we will come back and we will begin working on the acrylic flowers. I'm going to begin by forming my first pearl. I'm going to dip inside my acrylic liquid. I'm going to remove excess by tapping it on the side. I'm going to form my first pearl. So there's my first pearl. I'm going to place it over on this side, and we're just going to be working on a very simple rose design. Now what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start pressing the middle and I'm forming the first petal on the bottom. So we're just fanning it out, bringing it out gently from the sides. So that's all we've done there, and that may look like nothing, but that's the base we're working on. And our base is going to consist of either 3 or 4 petals, however we see. Okay? Work as you go. If you see you can use 4, then 4 is what you should do. Okay, so all I'm doing is the same exact thing. I'm pressing outward. There's my other second petal. I'm going to dip in my acrylic again, and this is just over and over again doing the same step. And I'm going to be placing my third pearl over on this area. I'm going to be using my brush to bring it outward. So all we're doing is that. Okay, so there's our 3 base little petals that we have formed. I'm gonna go in the middle, and I'm sorry you guys could hear the cars, the windows open. I'm gonna place a little pearl in the middle. Even that would be a pretty look there already. But I'm gonna continue going. I'm gonna press this way now. Okay, we're pressing our little petal, going towards this direction now. Okay. So all we're doing is pressing the middle and fanning it out towards the sides. So we have there another little petal. I'm going to go in my acrylic again. And I'm going to form another little pearl. And I'm going to place it in the middle again. This time I'm going to fan it out the opposite way, the other side. Okay. So that's all we're doing, is layering tiny little layers of petals. I'm going to go in again, form another little pearl, place it in the middle, and I'm going to go downward now. Okay, so we're going to start going downward using the same technique, but this time we're going downward. And the fun thing about the practice fingers is that you could just move it around however you want, and then you could just place it on your nail. That's really very helpful. Okay, we're going to go in, we're going to form one more little pearl. So as you can see there, it's not difficult. It's just pearls and pearls you're forming. So I've placed that one in the middle, and I'm going to go out that way now. So I'm forming this little layer going outward. Okay, so what we can do from here is we can either do a tiny little pearl in the middle and leave it like that, or what we can do is put a tiny little dot and do a little indentation. So which of the two should I do? I'm going to do a little indentation, okay, to end our rows. And I did that to some of them, and to some of them I just left it a little pearl. So that's what we could do. We could leave that little pearl there, or we can form a little indentation with the last little pearl we have done. So I'm going to be doing a little indentation. All I'm doing is poking the very middle of it very lightly with my pointed tip. I'm pointing, I'm dabbing the very middle of it, and that's going to form the last little petal. Okay, and then at the end we're still going to go in and do the little pearls in the inside. So that's what we've done, a very simple rose. And I think the lighting from the outside is probably interfering, but there's our rose that you see there. So all it was layers and layers that we used. That's all it is, rounding them off. Okay, so this is a simple, very simple rose that you can do. I'm going to do a little bit more. I'm going to add a little bit more petals just because it's going to go on my thumb and I want it to have a little more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start going that way. So I'm going to form tiny little pearls, another little pearl, and I'm going to be placing my, well, I could probably go this way. I'll go out this way. So I'm going to place my next little pearl over on this area here, and I'm going to press the middle. I hope I'm not so far. I'm pressing the middle, and all I'm doing is fanning out towards the sides. I'm going to dip in my acrylic again, form another tinier pearl, and I'm going to place it over on this side. Okay, I'm going to start pressing from the middle, okay, forming another little petal, and I'm going to do one more over on this area. So I'm going to go into my acrylic, I'm going to form one more and place it over on that area in the corner. I'm going to press the very middle of my little pearl, connecting it to the other two down here. I'm going to give it a little tip. All this is just a matter of practice. You guys can do it. I know you could. Just practice. If this is something that interests you, just practice till you get it right. Okay, so there we have our last little petal. I'm going to be using an orange stick. And what I'm going to do with this orange stick is with the very, the very flat end, I'm going to go into the last one, and I'm going to form a little line. And then I'm going to do some little lines on the side as well. But just very lightly, nothing harsh. Just barely there. Okay? And over on these, I'm just going to do the very middle of them. Okay? I'm pressing in with my orange stick. Okay? And there we have our rose. And that's the one we're going to be using to place on my thumb. The only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to wait about 1 minute for it to completely dry, and then I'll show you guys how I remove it and place it on my nail. So that's it. So here is the rose. It came off so easily. It just peeled off. Some of them come off easily, some of them don't. But let me show you how I did it. Just by moving the nail, the little rose fell off. But what I usually do is I peel them off. I start by the very corner and start peeling them off. They're not very delicate, so you're able to take them out, be pretty rough with them. But what I want you to see, this is what you have here. You have your little rose that you made. So you can pretty much pre-make these and keep them in your nail polish drawer in a little container and use them whenever you want. And the good thing about doing them on a practice finger or a practice artificial nail is that it already has the natural shape. It's already curved. Let me see if I could place it in a way that you guys can see. It's not straight, it's curved. Just like the nail, it curved into the nail's shape. So what I'm going to do here now, I'm going to apply it to my nail. I'm going to get clear nail polish, And I'm going to apply the clear nail polish over my nail. And I'm going to be pretty generous because I want it to stick well. Okay, I'm going to clean out the sides. Okay, I'm going to get my tweezers. And here's my rose, and I'm going to want to place this one going upward. So we're going to flatten it out. Flatten it out from all the areas. Okay, and you can just adjust it to the way you're going to want it. And that's going to dry nice and flat on your nail, and it pretty much ends up looking like you actually did it on your natural nail. And that's what I really love about this technique, about doing it on the practice finger. If you don't have a practice finger, something else you can do is you can use a stick and you place the nail there and you could use it like that. But if you don't want to go out and buy the artificial nails, you can actually also put a tape on your finger and you can work there. You can work the flower there using your acrylic, and in case you mess up, all you have to do is wipe it off because the tape gives you a nice forgiving surface to work on. So that's what we've done so far. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to want to add some beads to it, which you don't have to, you can stop there already, but I'm going to be using copper colored beads. So I'm going to place, I did place the clear polish over my entire nail, including the roses, but you don't have to. If you wanted to have a more dry look, your flower, then you can definitely go matte with it. So I'm going to apply, in the middle of my flower, I'm going to apply some clear nail polish. I'm going to dip it in, and I'm going to place some little beads in the middle of my rose. And I will definitely bring you guys an easier design. I know this one might be a little bit more difficult, but I know you guys can do it. It's just, I suppose, a step up from what we're used to, but you guys can do it. Just practice. So another thing you can do is add more beads around it like I did in this one, but I'm going to leave this one a little more simple just by adding the beads in the middle. So that's it. I hope you guys liked it. Don't be afraid to use the acrylic. Do use protection, however. You can go in the middle and do the little dip the way we did in this one, or you can actually do a little tiny knob in the middle. It's up to you, but each one is different. You can go the same for all of them, but I wanted to try different for this time. Let me hold you guys both. And the good thing about using the practice finger is that even your dominant hand is going to have perfectly made flowers because you've done them here and then you transfer them to your fingers. So that's it. I hope you guys liked this idea and try it out. Practice. Don't give up. And you guys will see how good your flowers come out. Be safe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.